Okay guys, Sonic Forces is finally out now. Remember how I said it would probably suck? It kinda sucks. Now look, I'm not saying I'm basing my opinion off of other people's reviews and impressions on Twitter, but more that now that the mainstream games media and public are getting their hands on Sonic Forces, I can basically say I told you so. I've been worried about Sonic Forces since its reveal in 2016, the same day Mania was announced. The darker tone and shoehorning of classic Sonic with no gameplay to show off had me quite worried. Then they finally did show off gameplay, and it was all straight lines and boost to win, something I didn't even think Unleashed was that bad with, and Generations avoided almost entirely through its quite brilliant level design. The more and more that got shown off for Sonic Forces, the boring synth music, the overly dark story that was clearly trying too hard, the constant returning levels, and the stupid custom character, I just thought, thank God for Mania. I've also played Sonic Forces now at EB Expo, and I tried 3 levels, each with 3 different playstyles. I hated it. All of my friends hated it.
Forces booth. Very bad. Do a boo. What do you think of Sonic Forces, man? Good. What do you think of Sonic Forces, Mike?
It's the best game I've ever seen.
What do you think of Sonic Forces, Lewis?
Never again.
And then the game leaked, and out of morbid curiosity, I checked all the levels and all of the cutscenes. Before the game was out, I knew that every single stage is a linear, straight line filled with dash panels, springs, scripted sequences, and either no slopes, or slopes that don't actually influence speed or momentum in the slightest. Every stage has rows and rows of boring enemies who just sit there, and the player holds the hold this button down to win button and walks through all of them. The story is trying so hard to be dark and epic, but actually has incredibly low amounts of ambition and scope. I'm not spoiling anything here, but holy crap, the narrative in Forces is terrible. The only good thing I'll give it is that thankfully Dr. Eggman isn't an annoying comic relief character this time, and is performed both through writing, voice delivery, and animation with a bit more menace. But okay, I know a lot of you have probably disliked this video and are writing an angry comment, or maybe you're not even watching the video anymore because you're too ignorant of other people's opinions. But hear me out. For one thing, don't take somebody's legitimate criticisms of a stupid video game about a blue hedgehog who runs fast so personally just because you like it. You can like what you like, and that is perfectly fine. And I can dislike what I dislike, and that is perfectly fine too. Also, keep in mind, I have heavily justified reasons for why I dislike Sonic Forces. So anyone who gives me some stupid
"You are a hater,"
or
"You're a fake Sonic fan,"
"You're an idiot child," sorry, those arguments are so ridiculously childish and you have no legs to stand on. But let me explain, in case for some reason you think I hate Sonic, because I love a lot of Sonic games. Sonic the Hedgehog is basically my favorite franchise of all time, unless maybe Jurassic Park's gonna beat that out. Sonic Mania, and yes I know I still haven't gotten a proper review out for it yet, is now my second favorite Sonic game ever, and one of my contenders for my personal game of the year. I loved Sonic Generations and was really hoping to see how the boost formula could evolve with new mechanics and level aesthetics. Unfortunately, Forces goes backwards in terms of design with the removal of mechanics like the drift, and I think the lightspeed dash as well. It also goes way backwards in terms of level design, with every single level being a boring straight line or 2D block platforming with rows and rows of generic enemies who don't even move. In my opinion, the boost formula should have evolved into wider, more open levels with heaps of multiple pathways that required speed and skillful platforming to access. Think of Seaside Hill from Sonic Generations, which is probably the best boost formula stage to demonstrate that idea. Hell, even classic Sonic's gone backwards. I mean, he certainly didn't go forwards in terms of physics and momentum, which is quite embarrassing when Mania got it so right, but the level design has once again gone backwards. His levels have very few minor multiple paths from what I understand, and it's just not enough. I expect more from a Sonic game, let alone a classic Sonic experience after the amazing talent that was shown off in Sonic Mania. I know what some of you are thinking. You haven't played the full game, you can't say it's bad. My response to that is, okay, yeah, you're sort of correct. But, hear me out again. I knew before the game came out that it would be bad. I played a demo and it was bad. I have seen the entire game and it looks bad. I don't need to play a linear level for myself to know that the level is linear, to be honest. If the controls were awful in what I played and the level design is still that bad, then I don't really need to play the full game to understand that I don't like it. Now, In order to have my own fully fledged, in-depth opinion of the entire game, yes, I do need to play it. That I completely agree with. But that's not happening until someone else either buys the game for me, or it goes on sale for 10 bucks. That is not me asking for somebody to buy it for me, by the way. I'm just saying that I'm not buying this game with my own money. No thank you. There's one thing in particular from Kotaku's review, written by Jeremy Parish, that I really want to address. At the time of making this video, this is one of the only published reviews for Sonic Forces, since Sega didn't send out review copies. Gee, that's a sign of confidence from a publisher. And don't give me that excuse about a day one patch delaying review copies. If it was so necessary, then they would have done the same with Sonic Mania, that also had a patch later on to fix some issues that was originally supposed to be dropped day one. Games shouldn't need day one patches anyway, unless they have multiplayer components. I believe the quote from this review is something that will come up a lot in these reviews, and it's something I predicted a long time ago. The review states, "It certainly doesn't help that Forces follows right on the heels of Sonic Mania, a game that not only demonstrated a more focused design sensibility, but also did a far better job of realizing its creator's ambitions. Mania did everything so well that a lot of Forces reviews are just going to mention how much better Mania is. Hopefully this turns out for the best and just gets more people buying Mania instead of Forces. I feel that Sonic Team is either going to get super jealous and spiteful about the classic games now, or they're just going to keep milking classic Sonic even more than they are already. Now, more actual classic games like Mania is a good thing, but pointlessly adding classic Sonic and other classic elements into modern games like Forces is not a good thing. It's pointless, it's pandering, and it destroys any tangible cohesion or identity that was present within that game. So, in conclusion, I am not buying Sonic Forces, or at least not for a while, and obviously I haven't bought it already because the game's been out for several days at this point, so yeah. If I can grab it for less than $20, then sure, I guess, maybe. Considering Sonic Mania is one of the best Sonic games ever made, and I spent $20 on it, I am firmly against spending more money than Mania for a far worse Sonic game. I think that's pretty fair. But I played Sonic Forces myself at EB Expo, and well, I think those awful controls and boring level design tendencies were enough for me just from that experience alone. Now, do you know what else I got to play at EB Expo before release? Super Mario Odyssey, baby! Please just go and buy that game. I've already gotten 100% on my main save, and I've already done a second speedrun playthrough. I love it. Another Game of the Year contender for sure. Honestly, it's probably going to win.
I can't wait to play.
Are you gonna play the city level or the desert sand level, Mike? Huh?
I want to play the level where there is Sonic the Hedgehog. Is Sonic in the game?
Yep, yeah, he is, yep.
Yay!
Yes, Mario rolls like Sonic, but he rolls better than Sonic does in his own game, so yeah.
I'm going to play the desert level. I'm going to go really far and find a lot of cool stuff.
Desert. I hear it's hot there.
That's the really loud Cuphead music again.
Do not give money to the inferior product of Sonic Forces unless you really want to, I guess. I hope you've enjoyed this video and then you have a great rest of your day. If you've watched this far, then thank you very much. I hope you understand all of my points and realize that I do all of this out of my love and hope for the Sonic franchise. Sonic Team cannot make better games if people don't tell them what they're doing wrong. I just want to see this franchise do well and stop having such a negative stigma surrounding it. But games like Sonic Forces do not help at all. Just a few months ago, Mania was doing so well to help Sonic get back to being a positive icon of Sega and video games in general. But now he's digging the hole even deeper with Forces. Yeah, buddy, nice one there, Sonic Team. That was a good call. The next 3D Sonic game should just be Sonic Utopia.